Good evening, YouTube! Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show. Tonight, it's a look back on 10 years of this YouTube channel. I'm Jeff the Shark, and I don't understand how Chester's Fries came into existence. And now your host, it's Pikachu Allspark.
Keep shouting to the listening buddy, go! Build it up! Add something that's
Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show. I am your host, the king of YouTube, Pikachu Allspark. That is right, we are back with another episode of the Perfect Podcast Show this week. And the SpongeBob review episodes, one episode with a bunch of SpongeBob reviews, that's coming. It'll be the next podcast, which will hopefully be out within the next week. Now, on to today's episode, which is a look back at the 10 years this YouTube channel has existed. My first video ever was posted on August 14th, 2009 at 6 a.m. Surprisingly, I don't know what I was doing awake at 6 a.m. back then. It was the middle of summer. I was an actual child. I had no reason to be awake at 6 a.m., but I was, and I was posting a video for some reason. So yes, today we will, starting from the beginning, talk about the 10 years I've been on YouTube. So, I don't really like delaying stuff, even though my unboxing videos would prove otherwise. I'm not a fan of delaying things, so let's get right into it. Like I said before, my first video was in August 2009. I didn't do it alone. I had help from a friend who I no longer hang out with. I actually don't know what he's doing these days, but, you know, it was sort of a collaborative effort. I did not give credit. I didn't know that was something you should do, because again, this is my first video ever. I didn't know the protocols or anything, so, you know, that's just how that went. Now, this first video, Patrick Goes to the Krusty Krab. It was my first LEGO SpongeBob anything, and it was made using the very first LEGO SpongeBob set I ever got, which was 2009's Krusty Krab Adventures, I believe was the name of the set. And, man, this Krusty Krab set, it sucked. Like, it was not the good Krusty Krab set from 2006. This was the horrific one from 2009. The one that didn't even have a base plate. Like that's one of my favorite things about the 2006 set, that it gives you this big base plate to build the set on. And this one didn't, and it's so small. It doesn't even have the sign. Well, it has the sign, but it doesn't have the clamshell Krusty Krab sign. You know, it has one on the roof. Like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, just about everything with this set was just, you know, the good part of it was that it includes the paddy wagon from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. It's really cool to have a LEGO version of that. But, you know, other than that, it's like, what were they thinking with this set? Like, really? What were they even thinking? But we're not here to talk about the quality of the set, we're here to talk about the video I made with it. It was called Patrick Goes to the Krusty Krab. Now, my early LEGO SpongeBob videos, they were all made, I put like a journal and turned it over and put that on the floor. And I had this Transformers book that I got from a Scholastic book fair at a school, the school I had been going to back then. And that was next to the journal. So that's the floor thing, and it was on carpet. I had carpet in the room before tiles replaced that carpet in early 2010. Anyways, yes, this was the floor, and it was in front of my closet, the same closet that it's in front of now. And this first video, Patrick Goes to the Krusty Krab, this was edited on Windows Movie Maker, something I would use for way too long. And I didn't know how to edit a Lego SpongeBob video back then, so each of the 35 pictures made that I took to make this video, each of those pictures lasts 5 seconds. Like, I didn't know how to make things go faster at all, or anything. I learned these things over years and years. But back then, that's just the way things went, and I don't even think I put any jokes in it. I look back at this video like I have not watched it in years. I don't plan on watching it at any point. Like, it's just something I cringe the hardest at. Like, I'm really not a fan of my 2009 works. You see, it went from Patrick Goes to the Krusty Krab, which was my first ever Lego SpongeBob video, to a few more not that great Lego videos. There are a couple of ones where I tried to do tutorials for things that I had built myself, so that's something. I just straight up downloaded a couple of videos from the Lego Power Miners website and posted them. For some reason I didn't get taken down or copyrighted. A few cartoon parody videos using songs in them. Yeah, my 2009 content isn't something I'm really that into at all. It was really me first discovering YouTube, discovering what I could do with YouTube. And, yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself all the way. Basically, don't watch my 2009 stuff. It sucks. That's what I think of it. Now let's move to 2010. The very first video I posted in 2010 was episode 1 of something that I still do to this day, the Lego SpongeBob Adventures. Yes, this was the very first episode of the show, posted on January 9th, 2010. So the 10-year anniversary of the series itself is coming, and I have something big planned for that. And the inspiration to start the Lego SpongeBob Adventures was actually after I saw this YouTube video. It was a Lego stop-motion video. I believe it was created for a contest or something. It was called The Most Pointless Adventure Ever, and if you compare that video to the Lego SpongeBob Adventures Episode 1, you can clearly see where I took the inspiration. Now, after the Lego SpongeBob Adventures Episode 1, I did a couple more videos. Let's not talk about those. Then the Lego SpongeBob Adventures Episode 2 comes out about a month later. Now, I do not remember Episode 2 that well. I kind of remember Episode 3. Again, it's been years since I've seen my 2010 content. It's been years since I've seen my 2015 content. Like, I always like to just... When it comes to my own thing, I recommend you see my newest stuff. That's the stuff I'm the most proud of making. And I feel like it's that way for a bunch of YouTubers, really. I did one called Lego SpongeBob Game Show, where for some reason I included a blue border around the entire video, and I did the video on top of the pages of an open journal, so that's something. I think that's the first one where I actually had a joke in there, so the evolution of my comedy was starting to take place there. And throughout 2010, I would continue to make YouTube videos, but I clearly didn't... Like, I'm looking through the video manager right now to remember exactly what I did. Oh man. I still have some videos on here that are called .wmv. Yo, why did I not take that off? Why have I still not taken them off? But, yikes. Anyways, yes, I did some more Lego SpongeBob Adventures episodes. I posted a couple of my flip notes. back in 2010, I was really getting into Flipnote Studio on the Nintendo DSi. It was probably one of my favorite things ever. It was my first exposure to animation, really. And when I say that, I mean making animation. I should clarify there. My first exposure to animation was obviously watching cartoons. But my first exposure to making animations was Flipnote Studio on the Nintendo DSi. It was something I really enjoyed doing, and I did that from 2010 to 2013 when they completely cucked the software. That was a really baffling decision on the part of Nintendo. They could have easily just transferred everything to the 3DS and everything would have been fine, but, I guess they didn't for some reason. So that's something. And yeah, the 2010, it was something alright. In 2011, however, I continued making videos. The LEGO SpongeBob Adventures had about 3 episodes back then. 2011 was a really weird year for me. Most of the videos I made back then, are... They don't really... I don't know how to explain them, really. I really don't know how I would explain my 2011 offerings. They're different than content I would make today, although everything back then was different than content I would make today, I suppose. But yeah, more LEGO videos happened in 2011. I also, in about September 2011, I got this camera from the Family Dollar. Now, the unique thing about this camera was that it shot video clips. When I say video clips, you better believe I mean 17 seconds of video clips. And the greatest thing about this camera was you couldn't see what you were recording with it. It was a really bad camera, like the worst thing I've ever used, and it was the first ever video camera I got. Now, you can see some footage from this camera on the videos. You can see some footage from this camera on videos that I've uploaded entitled Pac-Man on Facebook and Pac-Man S on Facebook. Yes, this is where I filmed myself playing Pac-Man games on Facebook using that camera. And it's only about 17 seconds. That's how long it records for. It was a bad camera. You can see just how bad of a camera it was if you watch those videos. I believe I also included some footage from that camera at the beginning of one of my early podcasts, so that's something. Now, in December 2011, I uploaded a video entitled LEGO SpongeBob Christmas Special. Now, this was my first Christmas special, and it was also a video that I had meant to post in 2009. Now, the problem with this is the fact that in 2009, the SpongeBob special Truth or Square had just aired on TV, and I, being the dumbass that I was, wanted to include the intro from Truth or Square, that new SpongeBob theme song that they had on it, and I wanted to just put that on my LEGO video. Obviously, it got copyrighted and blocked in every country. So in 2011, I just went and took this intro off the video and posted it to YouTube just fine. So the LEGO SpongeBob Christmas Special video is one from 2009. That's why it seems like it fits in with my 2009 material more than something I was doing in 2011. Now, in December 2011, I actually got some more LEGO SpongeBob sets. Actually, in, I believe, September 2011, I got some more as well. You see, in 2011, they released 4 LEGO SpongeBob sets, and I managed to get all of these sets. They were the superhero one that I can't remember the name of, Glove World, the Flying Dutchman ship, and the SpongeBob and Squidward's house one that I cannot remember the name of. Now, I got these sets and I used them in some of my videos afterwards. 2012 was when I really started to get serious about making the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures. I made it much more frequently, and I actually managed to get over 20 episodes of it. I managed to get the episode number to well over 20 in 2012, and I believe it was April 2012 that I actually went weekly with it for the first time ever, where I would produce episodes on a weekly basis, and that became something I did off and on for a while throughout the years. I also did some SpongeBob Shorts videos. These were me just recording SpongeBob DVD special features directly off my TV. I'm not the proudest of doing that. So, that's something. In 2012, I also started the Video Game Time series, which I do plan on doing more of later this year when it gets colder. Right now, it's way too hot to sit in that one area of this room. Anyways, 2012 marked my beginning of playing video games on YouTube, so that was something. And in 2012, stuff sort of continued like that. We got more of the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures, we got more of the Video Game Time episodes. Now, in late 2012, the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures kind of started getting blurry. This was due to my Nintendo DSi breaking, and the camera going out on it, so all the pictures were turning out blurry. I obviously had to fix this problem, and in early 2013 I managed to get a Nintendo 3DS XL. So, starting with the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures episode 32, the pictures I took were now clear, and you could actually see everything on them, so that was quite fun. And in 2013, that's when stuff started changing for the better, I suppose. The LEGO SpongeBob Adventures, it was getting like over 1,000 views every week, and that was an exciting period of life. You know, it's not like I made any money on it, because I've never made any money on it, but it was still exciting to see that, over 1,000 people a week were watching my creation and actually liking what they saw. It's amazing. And I continue to make other stuff in 2013 too, and the absolute amount of views that some of this stuff has, it's astonishing. Now, in 2013, I believe is when I started posting the SpongeBob flip notes on a weekly basis to YouTube. Now, these flip notes were posted to YouTube because the Flipnote website had an option where you could also post the Flipnote that you posted from your DSi onto YouTube, so I would do that every week, right until they freaking cucked the Flipnote service. And the Flipnotes did a decent amount of views too. The SpongeBob Flipnote I'm Not a Weenie video, that has 27,000 views right now. That is just amazing for a video that I posted myself. I could never even imagine getting that kind of views these days. So yes, everything was going the way I wanted it to. I believe in 2013 I also started doing fully stop-motion shorts at the end of the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures episodes. Now these fully stop-motion shorts, they were created using the stop-motion option in the Nintendo 3DS camera. It had an option where you could do stop-motion things, so I used it. I created some little shorts with it to tack on to my LEGO videos, and it was quite fun. So yes, the rest of 2013 played out, and I believe it was August 2013. At some point I lost my ability to use a computer. I cannot remember why, but I did not regain this ability until early 2014, when the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures continued on. And starting with episode 49, I had cartoons, 2D animated cartoons, put into each episode. Now, these 2D animated cartoons were made using the Inchworm animation program. Inchworm Animation is free animation software, originally made for the Nintendo DSi. It's also available on the 3DS eShop, and that's what I used to make cartoons from 2014 till 2019. That's right, until this freaking year. I made my animations in the most primitive way possible. And 2014 continued on with, more of the same, a bunch of LEGO SpongeBob videos. A few video game times I actually played games on actual arcade machines that I found in laundry places, those places you go to do laundry. And the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures kept going in 2014. I made some great content then, I think. At least I hope it was great content. I hope you think it was great content. And it was mid-2014 that things started getting really rolling. I made the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures episode 64. This was, I believe, one of the first ones to get a copyright claim on it for my use of the Aquabats song Stuck in a Movie. And, it was a really fun episode of the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures to make, one of my favorite ones ever. And I believe it was the first one, it was the last one to not include credits, I believe, because starting with episode 65, I started putting credits on there. Now, these credits most of them are a joke, the ones that say starring and then every name is me, that's just a joke, but I do, for series, credit the music and all the social media links. Those are my real social media, You can go to them. Twitter's the only active social media thing I use besides YouTube. And yes, the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures can return to a weekly status in late 2014, in October, it looks like. 2014 is also when I did some more stuff. I did something that nobody has ever done, a LEGO SpongeBob Thanksgiving special. The actual SpongeBob show has yet to do a Thanksgiving special, so, I'm ahead of the curve on that one. I also did a video that's been very controversial for a few years, garnering probably the most comments on any of my videos, at 21 comments. My video entitled Henry Danger Stole a Joke from SpongeBob, posted on December 1st, 2014. Now, I did this video because, sort of as a joke, but also not really as a joke, because Henry Danger, a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad show that airs on Nickelodeon, stole a joke from SpongeBob. That is literally something that happened on Henry Danger, and, I called him out for it. Now, this triggered so many people when I did this, and I don't know why, because Henry Danger sucks. It's probably one of the worst pieces of garbage to ever have been put on TV, and yet kids like it? I don't understand that. There are so many better superhero shows out there. So many. But for some odd reason, the one you choose to defend so hard is Henry fucking Danger. I don't get that. I will never get that. I will never understand that. But let's move on from that. 2014 was also the year where I started doing vlogs. Now, these vlogs they would last a couple of years. I don't really do them anymore, but I started doing them in 2014. and most of them are on my second channel. The first vlog I ever did is called The Store, Episode 1. It was posted on December 31st, 2014, and it is on my main channel. It is footage of me recording a bird that had gotten into the grocery store, and then I climbed on a stool thing and touched a sign in one of the aisles. And that was the vlog, so, that was fun. In 2015, I verified my YouTube channel. Now, what did verifying my YouTube channel mean? Well, it basically, to me anyway, it meant that I could finally create custom thumbnails. So every video in 2015, and afterwards, to present, has had a custom thumbnail with it. Now, 2015 also marked the start of me appearing on camera. So that was quite fun, wasn't it? It also marked the start of my series Invisible Chicken, my completely animated series, and I do plan on bringing that back at some point as soon as I can find the time to do it. 2015 also marked the release of the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water in theaters. I saw it, and I did a review of it. I believe I did that review with Nickelodeon's Big Time Rush on the TV in the background, so that's fun. Anyone remember that show? No? Just me? Okay. Anyways, yes, 2015 I did a lot of videos that... Yeah, I did a lot of videos. I have done a lot of videos every year. Well, recently I don't think I've done a lot of videos, but I want to change that. And in 2015, the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures kept going on. It got into the 80s, so that's quite fun. I did a bunch of unboxing videos. 2015 was also the year I did the first 4 Five Nights at Freddy's games on Video Game Time. I managed to 100% beat the third game, so that's quite an accomplishment, wasn't it? There was also a video where I found some old Ninja Turtles trading cards from 2005 just in my local Dollar Tree in 2015, so, that was quite a fun thing to find. And yeah, I want to have a lot of interesting stories to come out of these 2015 videos. Stuff continued on. I kept doing the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures. It was great. It was building towards the 100th episode in 2015, so that was interesting. 2015 is also when I launched my podcast. Now, originally, the podcast was me trying to combine urban exploration videos and podcasts. Combining the two did not work, because back in 2015 I had also gotten into watching urban exploration videos on YouTube. Now, these videos are when somebody goes into an abandoned location and films their experience of going in there and looking around. That's what an urban exploration video is. And I enjoyed watching those a lot in 2015, so I just had to do some myself. So I found some trailers in a local trailer park, and I went into those. Saw a lot of interesting things in those. And that was how that went. Now, things started getting different as well, like I said. Now, in late 2015, something happened. In September 2015, I lost the ability to use the computer once again for 4 whole months. And all the videos from September 2015 onwards, those were made due to the generosity of my sister allowing me to edit videos on her computer. 2015 also marked the first podcast Halloween special that I did, where I went into the Halloween store and looked around. I didn't do that as on the most recent one, so I didn't do a Halloween podcast in 2018, so that sucks. but I did about 3 of those Halloween podcasts, so, you get the general gist of what's in the Halloween store. 2016, now, this was the year that the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures finally hit episode 100. January 2016 was also the year I got another computer, so I was once again able to edit videos. This computer turned out to be a very bad computer, though, and I was stuck with it for 2 whole years, so, that sucked ass. So yes, 2015 I did a lot of the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures, unboxings, video game times. I was even doing a bunch of Omegle videos. I used to do a lot of those, but, I don't do those anymore. Who knows, maybe one day I'll go on that website again. I've been thinking of taking the Jeff the Shark character on Omegle. I think that might be a fun video to make, so maybe one day I'll do that again. But yes, in 2016 I did a lot of questionable things. I was just posting Saved by the Bell screenshots as my podcast thumbnails for some reason. I started a pro wrestling review show that nobody watched. And I made an Instagram account that I only posted 1 picture on because, well, turns out you have to use their app to post pictures, and I used their app on an emulator once to post that picture, and that was that. Maybe one day I can still log into Instagram, so, I still remember my login info, so maybe one day I'll get that Instagram thing restarted, do some more Instagram, but for now I don't do that. Anyways, the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures episode 100 premiered in 2016 on November 18th. At the time, it was the longest episode ever, I believe. Right now, it's not. The most recent episode has surpassed it, I believe. But yeah, it's the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures episode 100, a sequel episode to episode 64. It was probably one of my favorite things I've ever made. And, yeah. It's probably one of the one LEGO SpongeBob Adventures videos I could go back and watch today and think, oh yeah, that's a really good episode. 2017, I turned my unboxing videos into a show, calling it The Unboxing Hour. And ever since then, I've been making videos with that branding whenever I need to do an unboxing video. And, yeah, the Unboxing Hour set hasn't really seen the best of days recently. As you all know, well, as anyone who watches the show would know, the cat peed on it recently, so I'm gonna have to make a new one, and making a new one requires getting some more construction paper, another foam board, and I'll get around to doing that. Kind of surprised I haven't got around to doing it already. But anyways, in 2017 I also improved my thumbnails, because the way my thumbnails were done before was just atrocious, so I finally improved my thumbnails, thin outline on them, my logo in the top right, the show logo in the bottom left. That's a good way to make a thumbnail, in my opinion. Yes, in 2017, my stuff continued going on. I made a bunch of fidget spinner unboxing videos over the summer because fidget spinners were the big cool thing. I still have a bunch of fidget spinners from 2017. I believe my favorite one is one that I never showed on camera. I got an American flag fidget spinner from a convenience store, so that's my favorite fidget spinner I've gotten so far. In 2018, stuff continued. The LEGO SpongeBob Adventures hasn't been able to be weekly that much. I skipped out on a huge detail from 2017. My 3DS camera broke, so I had to get a new camera. Now, this camera was an $18 camera that I got from Walmart. It was not a good camera, and I used this camera for approximately 1 year. Now, this camera can be seen on the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures. It was used in, which episodes did I use it in? It was episodes 101 until 110? 101 till 19 or 110. I believe it was 101 to 19. 101 to 109 is what I'm saying. So yes, this horrible camera was used to record all my videos until November 2000, was it November? December 2018? It was late 2018 that I got an old phone from 2010, and that became my camera until June 2019, when I got an old phone from 2011, although this old phone from 2011 can actually take HD video and HD pictures, so now all my stuff is clear and in HD. And that's kind of where we stand now. One more thing to talk about from this year. As I've said earlier, I ditched the inchworm animation this year, partially for a few reasons. One, because it sucked ass, and two, because the cat knocked my Nintendo 3DS off of a shelf onto the floor, which completely broke the 3DS, which was already sort of broken. The top screen stopped turning on, so, that sucked. And then you'll never guess what the cat did afterwards. Guess what the cat did to my unboxing hour set? Yeah, same thing to the 3DS as well. Peed on it. So it really didn't work that well come March 2019. So that is when I got a drawing tablet off of Amazon. So now my animations are created with my computer and this drawing tablet. So I guess it's the first period of my life in years where I'm not regularly using a Nintendo device to create my stuff. So that's basically how my YouTube career has gone from 2009 until now. Let's talk about a few little things, really. The Perfect Podcast Show was not always The Perfect Podcast Show. It was originally called The Weekly Update Podcast, a terrible name. It rebranded to The Perfect Podcast in 2016. Then, I don't know if it was later in 2016 or in 2017 that No, it was The Perfect Podcast the next year. 2018, I believe, is when I rebranded it to The Perfect Podcast Show. I did this rebrand because I had been watching the Chris Gethard Show, and I wanted to do a tribute to the Chris Gethard Show, so I took the Fusion Chris Gethard Show theme song and applied it to my intro, and then stylized the graphics to look sort of like they're ripping off the Chris Gethard Show. And that's where that came from. Also in 2016, I changed the cartoons a bit in the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures. Originally, the cartoons were just replacing a scene that would normally be made in Legos. However, in 2016, I, again, a couple of years earlier, had discovered the Aquabats Super Show, so I started ripping off the "it's a cartoon" bit from the Aquabats Super Show, and from 2016 to 2018, I did one long reoccurring storyline throughout the cartoons, just like the Aquabats Super Show did in Season 1. In 2018, however, I wrapped that storyline, and now the cartoons sort of have just been... they've just been whatever they... The cartoons now have kind of... well, they haven't been a storyline, basically. But they're still there, and I am going to start another storyline throughout the cartoons at some point. I think maybe with the next episode of the LEGO SpongeBob Adventures, I'll do that. And I think I've covered pretty much all of it. Pretty much everything I've done. In early 2015, I did a bunch of SpongeBob Mega Bloks unboxing videos. Yeah, remember SpongeBob Mega Bloks? What happened to that? Does Mega Construx still do SpongeBob sets? I don't know. I haven't checked in a few years. And my voice is just starting to get shot. I have been talking for 40 whole minutes. Wow. This is going to be a long podcast, and yeah, I think that's a good enough retrospective of my YouTube career. Just one more note before I leave you all for this podcast. I've never monetized my videos. If you see an ad before one of my videos, that is because it includes copyrighted material, and the owners of the copyright have monetized the video so they can make money off of it. I don't mind this. I never dispute this. I don't care about copyright claims. What I care about is a copyright strike. A strike is something that could mess with my channel or get it taken down. I don't want that. A claim means nothing. A claim just means somebody else is making money, and since I don't care about the money anyway, that doesn't matter to me. And I think I've talked enough. Once again, so yes, that was the Perfect Podcast Show. You can follow my second channel on YouTube that I might post on something on again one day. It's at Pikachu Allspark TV. My Twitter, as always, at Pikachu Allspark. And until the next episode, all hail the king.